The crypto market is bleeding. As of February 2026, Bitcoin has wiped out nearly 40% of its value since its October highs, crashing below the psychological $70,000 support level. But this isn't a standard market correction. This isn't about the Federal Reserve or a tech sell-off. This is about a ghost that has haunted the internet for 20 years. For over a decade, the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto was the world's most inspiring mystery, a faceless hero who gave humanity a path to financial freedom. But as the latest Epstein files continue to drop, a darker theory is moving from the fringes to the center of global finance. A theory that asks a terrifying question. What happens to the world's most disruptive technology if its founder wasn't a hero, but a monster? Why now? Speculators are pointing to newly released emails and flight logs that show Jeffrey Epstein's deep, almost obsessive involvement in early cryptography and transhumanist circles. We've seen reports of Epstein funneling money into MIT's Media Lab to keep Bitcoin Core developers on payroll during the early 2014 collapse. We've seen records of him participating in seed rounds for massive blockchain infrastructure companies. Whether Epstein was Satoshi or just an early hidden architect doesn't matter to the market. What matters is the taint. Bitcoin was built on a myth of purity. It was the clean alternative to a corrupt banking system. If that foundation is actually rooted in the dark money of the world's most reviled criminal, the narrative doesn't just crack, it shatters. This is why the price is falling so rapidly. In 2026, Bitcoin is no longer just for cypherpunks. It's on the balance sheets of BlackRock, Fidelity, and state pension funds. These institutions operate on a strict code of ethics and governance. They cannot hold an asset that carries the social mark of the beast. If the link becomes even 10% more credible, we will see a reputation exit. A mass liquidation event where the world's largest funds sell at any price to avoid the PR disaster of being tied to the Epstein legacy. When the big money leaves to save their brands, the floor of the market doesn't just lower, it disappears. But the greatest threat is the Satoshi stash. It's estimated that the creator holds roughly 1.1 million Bitcoin. For 17 years, these coins have been a symbol of restraint, a digital gold reserve that was never moved. But if those coins are linked to Epstein's estate or a dead man's switch, they become blood money. If the US government seizes those coins, or if a legal trustee is forced to dump them to pay out settlements to victims, the market would face a terminal liquidity crisis. We aren't just talking about a dip. We're talking about a permanent reset. The store of value becomes a liability that no one wants to touch. This is forcing a civil war within the crypto community. On one side are the abandoners. These are the pragmatists who believe the experiment is over because the brand is poisoned. To them, Bitcoin is now a criminal tool by design. On the other side are the hardliners. Their mantra is code is law. They argue that a bridge doesn't collapse because its architect was a villain. A protocol is neutral. Math has no morality. They believe Bitcoin is a tool for humanity that has outgrown its creator. But can code is law survive the court of public opinion? Can you convince a billion people to use a currency if they hate the man who wrote the first block? If Bitcoin falls, does crypto die with it? Perhaps not. We might be witnessing the great decoupling. For the first time, investors are looking at Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano as the clean alternatives. These projects have known, vetted founders, and transparent histories. If Bitcoin's origin is permanently tarnished, capital will migrate. We may be seeing the end of Bitcoin maximalism and the birth of a new era where the provenance of a coin matters as much as its price. Bitcoin might lose its crown, while the rest of the industry detaches from its shadow to survive. We are entering a post-Satoshi world. Governments will use this scandal as the ultimate kill switch for privacy. Expect emergency legislation, the banning of self-custody wallets, and total surveillance under the guise of cleaning up the market. The mystery of Bitcoin is now its greatest weakness. It's not about the code anymore. It's about the soul of the network. If the architect was a monster, is the system still worth saving? Once the door to the past is opened, there may be no closing it.